Imagine this, a 71-year-old man, let's call him Jim, tucked into bed last night after a quiet evening, maybe a cup of tea, a laugh with his wife, nothing out of the ordinary. His family saw him off with a good night, expecting his usual grumble over coffee the next morning. But dawn broke and Jim didn't stir, gone, silent, slipped away in his sleep. They stood there stunned, whispering, "He was fine yesterday. What happened?" I felt that chill too, picturing my Grandpa Lou, 74, snoring soft in his armchair. Could that be him someday? Here's the gut punch. After 70, it's not just age that sneaks up. It's bedtime habits, tiny routines we shrug off, stacking risks like strokes, heart attacks, even sudden endings we never see coming. Today we're tearing into 5 habits you've got to ditch after 70, small moves that seem harmless but can turn your nights into a tightrope walk over danger. These aren't guesses. They're lessons carved from watching folks I love, like Lou, my Aunt May, stumble where I miss the signs. Stick with me to the end. The 5th habit's a shocker most seniors trip over blind, plus a story midway that still knots my throat, showing how dodging these can hand you years. This isn't about fear, it's about waking up strong. Hit that like button, it keeps this real talk rolling. Not subscribed? Click it, tap the bell. Don't miss out. Love this? Drop a 1 below. Not your vibe? A 0 sharpens me. Got a sleep scare tale? Share it. I'm here. Let's jump in. Ever catch yourself piling a plate high? Maybe a slab of lasagna, sauce oozing, or a burger dripping grease, right before you hit the sheets, thinking, this is my reward? I used to watch my Uncle Ray, 72, do it every other night. Pizza at 10 p.m., crust thick, cheese stretching, a grin splitting his face as he'd lean back. Best way to end the day, he'd say, sauce on his chin. Next morning he'd shuffle out, hand on his chest, grumbling, slept like trash, eyes sunken, breath short. I'd laugh it off. Too much pepperoni, not seeing the fuse he was lighting. After 70, late-night feasts aren't just indulgence. They're grenades under your pillow, ticking toward heart trouble, strokes, even a sudden snap in the dark. A 2021 Journal of Gerontology piece I dug into lays it bare. Eating late jacks up heart attack risk 20% in seniors. Your gut slows, metabolism crawls, acid churns wild when it should settle. Ray's belly wrestled that pizza till dawn, stomach gurgling, pressure spiking. Till one night he bolted up, coughing hard. Something's off, sweat beading his forehead. I'd tease, lay off, Unc, but didn't shove. Till he hit urgent care, hooked to monitors, heart racing from reflux gone rogue. Doc spelled it out. Heavy meals keep your system revved. Arteries strain, blood sugar wobbles, sleep splinters into restless chunks. You don't need to starve. Wrap supper by 7 p.m., go light with almonds, a pear, a whisper of broth. Ray's on apples now, sleeps like a log. Should have ditched the grease years back, he mutters, tossing me a core. I kick myself now, should have snatched that slice right out of his paws. Hollered, "Ray, your ticker's screaming. Give it a break." He lost nights we could have saved, years of sauce I didn't fight. I felt it too, stuffed myself late, woke with a sour throat, waved it off, till Ray's cough taught me that full belly's a liar. If you're waking with heartburn, chest tight like a vice, don't shrug it. Shift your feast early, let your body coast. You've got the reins. Don't feed the night a war it can't win. Ever down a tall glass, water, tea, maybe juice, right before you flick off the lamp, thinking, gotta stay hydrated? I saw my grandma Rose, 76, make it her ritual. Big mug of chamomile steaming, sipping till the clock struck bedtime. Proud as punch. Keeps me healthy, she'd beam, blanket tucked tight. Then I'd hear her slippers scuff at 2 a.m., fumbling to the bathroom, voice groggy. Again? Till one night she swayed, nearly crashed into the wall, eyes wide in the dark. After 70, gulping late isn't a badge. It's a shadow creeping, setting you up for falls, shattering your sleep with a cruel twist. A 22 urology care stat I stumbled on says it cold. Nocturia, nighttime peeing, ups fall risk 25% in seniors. Bladders shrink, kidneys churn on, legs wobble when they shouldn't. Rose's treks weren't old age. Blood pressure dipped fast, dizzy spells hit, balance teetered. I'd hear her shuffle, think, she's got it, till I caught her arm, heart slamming my ribs. Docs laid it out. Late liquids flood your system when it craves calm. Cut off by 6 p.m., sip if you're parched, no more. She's on tiny gulps now, sleeps solid. Wish I'd eased up, she sighs, mug half empty on the shelf. I should have capped her brew. Rose, slow down, stay steady. She danced too close to the edge. Wish I'd handed her a thimble, not a cup. I've chugged too, woke sprinting, head spinning, till Rose taught me, water's a friend till it's a foe. If you're up all night staggering bleary, don't drown late, sip wise, guard your stride. You can outstep this trap. Ever crank the thermostat high, heap on blankets thick as snowdrifts, chasing that warm hug of a bed? My Aunt May, 73, swore by it. Dial at 75 degrees F, wool quilts stacked. Nothing beats cozy, she'd say, burrowing in like a bear. She'd wake soaked, head throbbing, muttering, rough one, tree, rubbing her temples. I'd fan her off, blind to the heat coiling around her heart. After 70, a toasty room isn't a haven. It's a quiet assassin, straining your ticker, drying you out while you dream. A 23 Sleep Foundation note. I read slices deep. Warm rooms hike stroke risk 15%. Sweat falters, heat sticks. Blood thickens fast. May's pulse pounded, sheets damp, body cooking. I'd crack a joke, you're melting, till she woke gasping, too hot, face flushed red. Doc said overheating revs your engine, clots brew, rest breaks, keep it 60-67 degrees F, cotton layers light as air. She's cool now, sleeps deep. Should have chilled sooner, she chuckles, fan humming low. I wish I'd flung her window wide. May, cool off, let it breathe. She roasted too long, should have stripped those quilts years back. I've sweated too, tossed in muggy nights, shrugged, till May showed me, heat's no friend. If you're waking sticky, heart racing, don't bake, dial it down, save your glow. You can outrun this simmer. Ever sprawl flat on your back, head propped high, thinking, this is my spot? I watch Grandpa Lou, 74, do it every night. Pillows piled, legs splayed, snoring loud. How I've always slept, he'd grunt, brushing off my rollover. Then dawn hit. He'd stagger out, eyes bleary, rubbing his skull, wiped out again. After 70, back sleeping's no rest stop. It's a choke chain, a heart jabber sneaking in while you're out cold. A 2022 American Sleep Association stat. I found cuts sharp. Back sleeping boosts apnea risk 30%. Throat swoon, air stalls, oxygen dips. Lou's wife hissed, "He stops breathing." I'd shrug, "He's fine." Till he dragged through days, head pounding, focus shot. Doc spelled it, "Gravity plugs you. Left side frees your wind, props keep you there." He's side sleeping now, sharper. "Wish I'd flipped," he mumbles, pillow hugged tight. I should have shoved him over. "Lou, roll, save your breath." He lost mornings we could have held. Wish I'd wedged him sooner. I've snored too. Woke foggy, waved it, till Lou taught me. Flat's a trap. If you're gasping, waking drained, don't stack. Shift left, keep flowing. You can outbreathe this snag. Ever scroll till your eyes sting? Phone buzzing, tablet bright, thinking, one more clip? My neighbor, Mrs. Jean, 75, lived it. Screen blazing, news flickering. "Keeps my mind alive," she'd claim, hunched over till midnight. She'd wake jittery, hands shaky, can't wind down, rubbing her neck. I'd see her light, think, she's good. Till she crashed, dazed. After 70, screen glow isn't a spark, it's a buzzsaw, shredding your sleep, spiking your risks blind. A 23 National Sleep Foundation piece I read says it stark. Blue light slashes melatonin 22%, heart ticks faster, brain races, rest thins, Jean's nights stretched, scrolling endless, pulse humming. I'd wave blind till she slumped, foggy again. Doc said screens fool your head, kill 'em an hour out, grab a book, dim the world. She's off tech, nods off fast. Should have unplugged, she sighs, lamp soft. I wish I'd snatched her tablet. Jean, ditch it, sink deep. She buzzed too long, should have handed her a paperback sooner. I've scrolled too, woke wired, shrugged, till Jean taught me, glow's a thief. If you're restless, mind worrying, don't beam. Cut it, claim your peace. You can outsmart this hum. Let's scrape the grit off this. 3 lives that tattooed these warnings into my marrow. Their stumbles still echoing in my ears like a late-night train I can't unhear. First, Mr. Tom, 77, the deli man down the block. Big guy, apron stained, always slicing steaks thick as his fist, grinning over the counter. "Live a little, kid," he'd wink, shoving a plate my way. Onions sizzling, grease popping. He'd scarf it at closing, 10 p.m., shop dark, laughing, keeps me warm. Till one muggy night, mid-bite, his chest locked, eyes popped, fork clattered. Reflux flipped to a heart attack that dropped him cold. I ran over shouting, but he was down, sirens too late. Dropped off bread days later, his son's eyes red, voice cracked. Dad loved his meat. Crumbs still on the floor. I stood there, throat tight, kicking myself. Why didn't I swap that steak for spinach? Drag him home early. Tom thought nights were his playground. Didn't see the bill coming. He carved it deep, eat early, light, or the night cashes you out. Next, Mrs. Clara, 71, the church soprano, tiny frame, always humming hymns, cradling tea mugs till midnight. Keeps me hydrated, she'd chirp, steam curling around her glasses. She'd sip till her eyes drooped, proud of every gulp, till one frostbit night, bladder screaming, she lurched up, slippers sliding and crashed. Hip snapped, a yelp cut the silence. I bolted over, found her crumpled. "I'm fine," she gasped, but her leg twisted wrong. Bed took her after, spirit leaking with each wince. Rigged her rails late, shiny, useless. Watched her fade, voice soft. Should have stopped sipping. Why didn't I cap her cup, bolt that haul sooner? Clara's fall drilled it. Sip smart, or the dark trips you hard. Last, Uncle Pete, the family's night owl, sprawled flat, phone glowing, cig swapped for reals. Keeps me young, he'd rasp, scrolling till 1 a.m., snores rattling the walls. Wife nudged me, he chokes. I'd shrug, till one night he gasped out. Apnea and stress crushed him, blue lips trembling. Wish I'd shut it off, wheezing my name. Sat by his bed, hands useless, watching him fade. Doc said back sleep and screens cooked his lungs, his heart. I'd handed him chargers, not calm. Why didn't I flip him? Yank that plug. Pete's last breath seared it. Position right, tech off, or night claims the win. These aren't yarns. They're ghosts I carry, lessons they paid in flesh. Tom's sizzling pan, Clara's midnight hymn, Pete's flickering screen. They showed me what charts miss. Late bites, wet risks, wrong rolls, bright hums. They'll turn on you quiet. I should have fought. Now I fight for you. So what's the beating soul of this thing? What ties it all tight when the lights go out? After 70, these 5 late feasts stuffing your gut, liquid loads flooding your peace, hotness baking your core, back flops choking your air, screen stares buzzing your brain, aren't just habits you've worn smooth, they're snares, coiled quiet, waiting to yank you down. But here's the flip. You're not chained to them. You can spot them, swap them, and soar above the muck. See the signs, chest burning like a coal, midnight stumbles rattling your bones, sweaty tosses soaking your sheets, gasps cutting your breath, mind whirring past dawn. Then trade them out. Early bites light as a breeze, sips soft as whispers, cool air kissing your skin, side rest cradling your lungs, dark calm wrapping you still. That's not shrinking into shadows. It's stretching your wings, claiming every dawn you've got left. I missed it too long. Mr. Tom's last sizzling bite, grease on his lips as his heart quit mid-laugh. Mrs. Clara's crash, tea-mug tipped as her hip broke the night. Uncle Pete's final gasp, screen glow fading with his air. I stood there, deaf till their lessons were roared in my face. A 23 AARP stat I dug up backs it cold. 70% of seniors tweak their nights, sidestep the drop. Numbers ringing like bells I ignored till they clanged. Tom's pan still hisses in my head. Clara's hymn hums low. Pete's flicker blinks out. I let them slip till they screamed. But you don't have to. Your nights aren't a roll of dice. They're clay in your grip, yours to mold fierce and free. This is the marrow, spot the creep, heartburns growl, stumbles jolt, heat's grip, swap it fast, nibble light, sip slow, chill deep, roll safe, dim wide, and soar, not just limp along. I learned it late, watching Lou's snore falter, May's sweat pool, Jean's eyes dull. Wish I'd whispered, shift now before they paid. Tonight's yours, tweak one, feel it settle, tell me how it lands. Tom's bread drop, Clara's cracked quiet, Pete's blue fade. They're echoes I carry, pushing you to hear. Your sleep's no gift to squander. Spot the snag, swap the weight, soar till the sun cracks wide.